Members, good afternoon. I call the meeting to order. Item 1. Matters arising. The CS said that the government has introduced the Betting Duty Amendment Bill 2025 and the Basic Housing Units Bill in LegCo on the 2nd and 9th of July, respectively. The government will actively support the scrutiny of the bills committees and swiftly reply to questions and comments from members so that the second reading debate can resume as soon as possible. The CS also said that the government will introduce the legislative proposal to regulate online hailing hire car services. Members are asked to take note. Item 2. Legal Service Division report on bills and subsidiary legislation. There are 2 bills. They were referred to the House Committee in accordance with Rule 54(4) of the Rules of Procedure. 1. Registration of Same-Sex Partnerships Bill, paper number LS 64 of 2025. Legal advisor, please. Chairman, this is a new bill. It seeks to establish a regime for the registration of same-sex partnerships in Hong Kong and provide for related matters to fulfill the declaration by the Court of Final Appeal in relation to the positive obligation of the government. Under the proposed regime, same-sex partnerships will have to register their partnership, civil union, or marriage outside Hong Kong before they can make an application for the registration. There are also provisions in relation to offences. In addition, there are also rights and obligations attendant on the recognition of the partnerships, including provisions under cremation and gardens of remembrance regulation, etc. Please refer to paragraphs 3 to 17. This will come into operation on a date to be appointed by the Secretary by notice published in Gazette. The panel on constitutional affairs was consulted in July this year. We're looking into the legal and drafting aspects of the bill. The bill seeks to establish a new regime for the registration of same-sex partnerships. Members may wish to form a bills committee to study it. That's my report. Thank you. Members who would like to set up a bills committee to study the bill. Mr. Holden Chow, Mr. Junius Ho, Mrs. Regina Ip. 3 members have signed up. There is also Mr. Brave Chan. A paper will be circulated by the clerk. The second bill, Hong Kong Baptist University Amendment Bill 2025, paper LS 65 of 2025. Legal advisor, please. This is a member's bill. The member in charge is Dr. Johnny Ng. The bill seeks to amend the Hong Kong Baptist University Ordinance. The amendments include the update of the object of the Baptist University, reform the membership composition of councils, amend procedure of councils, clarify the non-delegable duties of the council and Senate, as well as related matters. Please refer to paragraphs 5 to 18. This will come into operation when the enacted ordinance was published in Gazette. In June this year, the panel on education was consulted. Members generally supported the proposals and expressed views. We're looking into the legal and drafting aspects of the bill. The bill seeks to reform the membership composition of the Council of the Baptist University. Members may wish to form a bills committee. That's my report. Thank you. Members who would like to set up a bills committee to scrutinize the bill. If so, please raise your hands. If not, members, please note that the Legal Service Division is looking into the legal and drafting aspects of the bill. When we receive a confirmation that there are no difficulties, then the bill may resume second reading debate. Item 2B, subsidiary legislation. There are altogether 10 items. Subsidiary legislation gazetted on the 11th of July 2025, paper number LS 66 of 2025. This covers 10 items of subsidiary legislation. Legal advice, please. First is LN 146 and 147. The two notices are new regulations in relation to the election of the 5 members of the Dental Council of Hong Kong. You may recall that in July last year, there was the passage of the Dentist Registration Bill in relation to the reform of the composition. LN 146 is in relation to the set of regulations relating to the election of 3 members. LN 147 is in relation to the regulations on election of 2 lay members. All these are in relation to certain procedures as well as other matters. Please refer to paragraphs 1 to 3. The panel on health services was not consulted. This will come into operation on the date to be appointed by the Secretary for Health. We are looking into the drafting and legal aspects of the legal notices. If need be, we will submit a report. That's my report for LN 146 and 147. In relation to these 2 legal notices, members, would you like to set up a subcommittee? If so, please raise your hands. If not, please continue. Next are 2 subsidiary legislation in relation to the copyright ordinance, that is LN 148 and 149. Sections 47 to 53 refers to certain permitted acts done by librarians, curators, and archivists of specified libraries, museums, or archives without infringing the copyright under specified circumstances. LN 148 is in relation to the specified circumstances. Say, for example, the recipient will have to make a declaration that the copy is made for the purpose of research or private study. For detail, please refer to paragraph 9. The LN 149 seeks to specified libraries, museums, and archives under these specified circumstances. Say, for example, library, museum, or archive of the government, legal, or the judiciary. In April this year, the panel on commerce, industry, innovation, and technology was consulted. Members generally supported the proposals and discussed some other issues. These will come into operation on the 1st of January next year. We have not identified any legal or drafting difficulties. That's my report for LN 148 and 149. Members who would like to set up a subcommittee to follow up on the 2 legal notices, if so, please raise your hands. No, please continue. Next are 3 legal notices, subsidiary legislation made under the Banking Ordinance. That is LN 150 to 152. The 3 are to amend the Banking Capital Amendment Rules, Disclosure Amendment Rules, and the Exposure Limit Amendment Rules. That is to implement the latest standards in relation to capital exposure and as well as disclosure by the Basel Committee on Banking Supervision, that is in relation to the standards on prudential treatment of crypto asset exposures, as well as the new provisions relating to large exposures framework by AIs. Please refer to paragraphs 14 to 17. The panel on financial affairs was consulted. Members discussed about the implementation progress of the implementation. They also discussed various issues. These will come into operation on the 1st of January 2026. We're looking into the legal and drafting aspects of the subsidiary legislation. If so, we will. If need be, we will submit a report. That's my report. In relation to the 3 legal notices, members, would you like to set up a subcommittee? If so, please raise your hands. If not, please continue. Next is LN 153. This is a new set of rules to implement the construction industry security of payment in relation to certain applications and enforcement applications by the district court, as well as the court of first instance. The legal notice set down certain procedures and mechanisms. For details, please refer to paragraphs 21 to 22. The panel on development was briefed in June. Members did not raise any objection. We have not identified any legal or drafting difficulties. This will come into operation on the 5th of September. In relation to LM 153, members, would you like to set up a subcommittee? If so, please raise your hands. If not, please continue. The last ones are LN 154 and 155. They are to amend the dangerous application and exemption regulation as well as the relevant schedules to reflect the latest amendments to the International Maritime Dangerous Goods Code. The effect is that the amended schedule relating to dangerous goods will be subject to the regulation of dangerous goods regulation in relation to the storage, conveyance and use, etc. Please refer to paragraph 26 to 29. Well, certain provisions will come into operation on the 1st of January. Some others will come into operation on the 1st of January 2027. The arrangement is to align with the mandatory implementation dates specified in the IMDG code. We have not identified any difficulties in terms of legal and drafting aspects. That's my report for LM 154 and 155. Members, would you like to set up a subcommittee? If so, please raise your hands. Let me remind members, in relation to the 10 items of subsidiary legislation, the deadline for making amendment is the council meeting of the 30th of July. Item 3, business for the council meeting of 23rd of July 2025. That is next Wednesday. This is the latest agenda. Questions. And then one government bill for first reading. Supplementary Appropriation 2024 to 25 bill. The House Committee will deal with this bill in the next meeting. That is the one on the 25th of July. Following that, there are 3 bills, government bills for second reading debate resumption. The first one is the Legislative Council Powers and Privileges Amendment Bill 2025. The second one is Promotion of Recycling and Proper Disposal of Products Miscellaneous Amendments Bill 2025 and the Electronic Health Record Sharing System Amendment Bill 2025. After that is members' motions. There are 2 proposed resolutions moved by Mr. Paul Tse. They seek to amend the rules of procedure, adopt the code for members of the LegCo, and authorize an investigation subcommittee appointed under the LegCo Supervisory Committee to exercise the power to make orders conferred on the Supervisory Committee as a standing committee under Section 9(1) of the LCPMP Ordinance. There are 2 members' motions with no legislative effect. One is from Ms. Judy Chen on improving the policy on encouraging childbirth, and one from Mr. Chen Pui Leung on addressing the retirement needs of the middle class and building a high-quality health and wellness ecosystem. In addition, there is also the report number 19 of 2025 of the House Committee on Consideration of Subsidiary Legislation and Other Instruments which will be laid on the table of the Council. There are 4 items of subsidiary legislations on that report. The deadline for making amendment will expire at the council meeting on that day. No members wish to speak. Next item, business for the council meeting of the 30th of July 2025. The list of members who have been allocated question slots is uploaded on the website. After that, there is the government bill, first reading and second reading debate to be adjourned. We have not received any notice. Then we have government bills. The first one is the proposed resolution under Section 46 of the Mandatory Provident Fund Schemes Ordinance by the Secretary of Financial Services and the Treasury, paper number LS of 67 of 2025.
Thank you, Chair. The purpose of the proposed resolution is to seek the legislative endorsement on the Mandatory Provident Fund Schemes General Amendment Regulation 2025. This is the first phase of the full portability arrangements under the MPF scheme. Now, for those employees employed after the 1st of November 2012, the accrued benefits from the employer's mandatory contribution can be transferred into an account of the choice of the employees. Now, for accrued benefits from employer's contribution for employment commences on or after the 1st of May 2025, it will be implemented in the next phase of the full portability scheme. Now, on the 2nd of June this year, the panel on financial affairs has been consulted and the members supported the arrangement. Subject to the passage of the resolution, the arrangements will commence on the date specified by the Secretary for Financial Services and Treasury on the Gazette. There are no objections by the panel. Thank you. Does any member request the establishment of a subcommittee to study the resolution? Mr. Peter Shield, there are more than 3 members. Please take down the names of the members and circulate the paper. Next, proposed resolution under Section 13 of the Radiation Ordinance, moved by the Secretary for Health. Legal advisor, please. Thank you, Chair. The purpose of the proposed resolution is to seek the legislature's approval of the Radiation Control of Irradiating Apparatus Amendment Regulation 2025. The purpose of the amendment regulation is to amend the existing regulation to amend the dose limits for the lens of the eye of obstetricians. This is to align with the latest standard of the International Radiation Association or International Commission on Radiological Protection to prevent local radiation work practitioners from developing cataracts. The panel on health services have not been consulted. Subject to the passage of the regulation, the regulation will come into operation on the 1st of January next year. We have identified no difficulties in relation to the legal and drafting aspects of the amendment regulation. Thank you. Concerning the reported amendments regulation just now, does any member require the establishment of a subcommittee? Now, the next resolution, proposed resolution under Section 13 of the Fixed Penalty Traffic Contraventions Ordinance, moved by the Secretary for Transport and Logistics. Paper LS 69, 2025. Legal advisor, please. Thank you, Chair. The purpose of the 2 proposed resolutions is to seek the legislature's approval to increase the fixed penalty levels for a number of traffic offences to $400 from $320, and also to amend the level of penalties for 14 traffic offences from $320 to $1,000 to $480 to $1,500. Please refer to paragraphs 1 to 4 of the LSD report. Now, according to the administration, most of the fixed penalty notices penalty have not been adjusted for 30 years. The adjustments will enhance the deterrence effect. Now, we have consulted the panel in April this year. Most members understand the justifications for the proposed amendments, but some express concerns about the inadequate supply of parking spaces. Subject to the passage of the proposed resolution, the new penalties will be implemented starting from the 1st of January next year. We have identified no difficulties in legal and drafting aspects. Thank you. Thank you. Concerning the proposed resolutions reported just now, does anyone require the establishment of a subcommittee? There being none, For the proposed resolutions with no subcommittee established, the government will move the resolution at the council meeting on the 30th of July. Now, for the resolution where a subcommittee has been established, according to the past practice, the House Committee will usually request the government to withdraw the notice for moving the resolution so that the subcommittee has sufficient time for scrutinizing the resolution. Members' motions. Dr. Frankie Gan's motion on improving GBA talent standards and promoting talent flow in the region, and Ms. Eunice Yeung's motion on actively exploring Hong Kong's new economic growth points. The wordings of the above motions have been uploaded onto the Electrical's website. For any amendments, the deadline for moving amendments is 23rd of July, Wednesday. Item 5, position on bills committees and subcommittees. As at Thursday, 17th of July, there were 4 bills committees in action, and there were 3 subcommittees under the House Committee and 1 subcommittee on policy matters under panels in action. Item 6, any other business. There being no AOB, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you.